what you want your life to be. Lost. Life is so much.
We're on the same page. Everyone.
Hello, welcome. My name is Obindaku. Welcome. I want to share with you today: free yourself from bondage, mental bondage, as an African, and free yourself from any form of subjugation, as an African. If you give me any steps, or if you ask me what are the steps that I will give to Africans in terms of any journey to success, whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's career, I would say the first of it is teaching the African to be free from mental bondage. And there are signs that you will see when the African is in some kind of bondage. And anytime I watch TV, social media, go through town, movies, I see the things that have put the minds of our people in some kind of bondage. I remember I happened to listen to a teacher when I was in graduate school, and after listening to him for continuous a year and a half and almost 2 years, a whole weight was lifted off my mind and off my shoulder, and the whole teaching was on Africans and the structures that run the world. It was fascinating. And after listening to him, then I never became worried coming to live in our country, because of the information that I happen to have, or I happen to have heard from the teachings. It broke the mental bondage. He taught the history. He taught why we think the way we think, and he gave an example of somebody who had an accident and lost the memory. So after the accident, the person went into amnesia. The same with most of us as Africans. And I think that without this deliberate breaking of this bondage, it does not really matter the kind of education, whether it's higher education. It does not even matter the profession you give to the African. You will see that they start to compare themselves, especially with white. Their sense of beauty is white. Anything that they call standard then becomes that which is of the white man. The white man must actually endorse it. And if you look at our youth in Africa now, a lot of the things that we are saying is not just economic hardship that people want to say, or it's not just because they don't have jobs. It's because there is a serious mental bondage that we happen to be in. And some of the institutions that are responsible for this will be our education system that we have. By the time that you're through with this 10 or 20 year education, you virtually don't know yourself as an African. In terms of culture, culture renditions and funerals and naming ceremonies, yes. But in terms of creative knowledge, strong knowledge to believe in yourself as an African, and when you compare yourself with the white culture, you will be seen standing. That kind of information is not in our school, and also from religion, whether it's Christianity was structured. The kind of the Bible or the kind of teachings that they say that Christ came to teach, and the one that is being interpreted to us, there is a missing link somewhere. Even Islam is the same. So the image of the African has been worked upon, and you can see it. You can see it that when you put something African there and you put something which is non-African, those who still have their minds in bondage will pick the non-African. When you don't know who you are, when you don't know what you have, when the history has not been taught to you rightly, no matter the treasure that you have, you will have no value for it, because the knowledge that you have will not connect with it. So that is what my teacher told me. He said that they are in amnesia. So until you start to reprogram their mind of who they are, the treasure that they have, how intelligent they are, how blessed they are, how great their ancestors were, how great their history is. Anybody at all can tell them that they are nothing, and they believe it. A people who don't know their history can easily be persuaded. A great man once said that. So my name is Obedako. I'm talking about breaking the mental bondage. And I'm saying that that's the number one responsibility as an African, to break it. Because for the last 500 years or so, what we have been born into, we have been born into bondage, into mental enslavement. That's why anybody, 15-year boy, 20-year people. The other day I was watching a movie, and this guy had moved from Ghana to some other country in Europe, and he was saying that Ghana will never develop, and he was saying that he will never come back to Ghana. And then when he was talking about the work that he does, like, wow, a people who don't know what they have will be convinced of what this man is saying. You have to understand what the blessings that we have. And a lot of the times, most Africans, especially those who have moved out of here and live outside, you will see it. It's clearly the content that they express, the information that they have about themselves. You know, because in those cultures, when you live there, they constantly put you down as an African. And so when you come here, you express the same thing. You think that living in those cultures make you better, make you have more money, make you more even intelligent than those who are here. You know, so the negativity, the constant negative thoughts that you have about your own country, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Kenya, the fact that you want to go through the desert to get to Europe and you don't care whether you die on the road. It's not that because you are hungry here, no. It's because the mind has been enslaved. Your mind is encaged. In as much as it's heavy, in as much as I say this with some kind of pain, the reality is that a lot of our people, the mind, such that their lives worth nothing compared to the life that they think they can have in some of these countries. That's why some of our youth, in spite of all the treatment that they give to them in the Gulf, you know, they will still go. And even after they are there, they have been there, they still want to talk down to their own country, on their own country, without studying anything, because it's a formation. And the other day I was watching some short video, and the man was saying that, yes, of course, my teacher said that. He said that racism was created, and what they call Africans, there were structures to denigrate and to call them as subhumans, and we have not dealt with that. And so a lot of our books, a lot of our management, the science, the religious teachings, that idea that these people are nothing, they are subservient, they are not intelligent, we have not dealt with them. And so we still see them being expressed in our days in different forms and shapes. And that's why when you put, you know, when you put something there and it represents the African, most Africans will choose the other one. You know, the other day I went to bank. The guy wasn't suit and tie, so, you know, when you wear this shirt that I'm wearing, he thinks that you don't have money. Because his mind is under bondage. It's under bondage. When you ascribe intelligence and wealth to the white man, and you ascribe poverty and lack of intelligence to the African, you are running the same bondage scheme that is set for us. When you look up to God and you think that God is white, and you think that the devil is African, you are running the same tape. It's mental bondage. You know, so the content that can help you, because the evidence of it is that you become frustrated. You don't become confident that you can make anything here. You don't believe it. And that's his number one problem of Africans. Major one. Major, especially when you bring them in contact with the Europeans or the whites. Sadly, that is it. And so you need to work on yourself as an African. And this the Europeans, a lot of them, those with even good heart, don't know the damage that some of these things that they have been doing to us for all these years have done to our self-esteem and our mental health, I dare say. You know, a lot of us, a lot of them don't know this. They don't know. So they think that they can just say, oh, just go and try something, you become successful. When people don't believe that they are able to do anything, unless somebody comes to help them, something has broken them. You know, so my name is Obedako. I'm talking about free yourself from this mental bondage. No matter the difficulties that you go through in Ghana, in Africa. Never think that when you go somewhere there are no difficulties. Those are not true. Yes, of course. Maybe you look at the pain that people go through trying to even get documents to live in some of these countries. And who told us that when they had our forebears as people working on their farms for years for free? Who told us that when they pronounce those things as, you know, as something illegal, it stopped. It never stopped. You still, I mean, one of the things that shocked me was when I went to some of these countries and the kind of work the people who look like me were doing. And they were still so proud. And they felt that those things were still better than being in their own country. For me, that which explains that is these people's mind have been enslaved. Even those who were not in that kind of category of work, they still felt that they were so much above those who were downtrodden. So we were the ones sweeping, you know, working in the factories, sweeping, being the security, you know, cleaning companies, things like that. Majority of our people. And somebody who said that, no, it doesn't matter, it depends on what, no. It does matter. When 80–90% of your people are in a particular work, in a particular category of income, there is something that is bigger than just